Welcome back, Faith Young joining us from Moonwalk. Great to have you back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, in the break we were discussing the fact the Chinese New Year was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit more.
No, it's the 16th.
The 16th of February. Anyways, it's the year of the dog.
Yes.
And I don't know what that signifies, but you said it's a good luck year for your sign and your husband's sign.
Yeah, tigers and rabbits, my dad told me. Mm-hmm. It's a good year. Good year for fortune, they say.
All right, maybe you're going to have triplets or something.
I was hoping I'd win Lotto Max.
Lotto Max would also be a good call. Yes,
Yeah.
it would. Awesome.
I would love triplets too.
Would you?
Either one I'd be happy with.
Really good for you. So we're making hot and sour soup today.
Yeah. So I thought I'd pick the soup because I know it's, honestly, I feel like winter's been really long this year.
Oh, yeah.
And flu season. You know,
Yes.
I got the flu last couple of weeks, and we've had a lot of people coming in because they like the soup when it really helps them open up their sinuses.
Is that because it's a little bit spicy or?
Yeah, a little bit spicy, a little bit sour. It's, you know, it's flavorful, right? So even when you're sick and stuffed up, you can still taste everything.
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing because I also have been sick this last month and I lost my sense of taste. There's nothing more dissatisfying than losing your taste. You're already sick, but then to not even be able to enjoy something to eat.
Yeah.
It's not right.
So it smells good too.
Yes.
All right, so I've actually just started first by boiling some chicken stock.
Chicken stock, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't make this chicken stock, and you can actually buy it at the superstore, like I said. And yesterday when I went, it was a great deal. It was like 78 cents. So I put
deal.
2 cans in here, and we're just going to boil it first. But I'm going to go over some of the ingredients. And some of the ingredients today are probably ingredients you don't cook with a lot. So I'll explain a little bit how to prep them as well.
Okay.
So we have barbecue pork. We have this one here. This is a preserved Chinese radish, and it's a little bit spicy. This one here, you can buy at any of the Asian markets. We got the shredded carrots, as well as this is, kelp.
Okay.
Now, if you ever buy this is available at the superstore. It's dry.
Oh.
So you actually, and the packaging doesn't say kelp. It says dry fungus. I just think kelp sounds better than dried fungus. You just need to soak it in water. You just need to soak it in water. If you use hot water, it can be an hour or so. If not cold water, give it a couple hours.
Okay.
Then we have strips of tofu. We're using bean sauce. Bean sauce is a type of hot sauce. The reason that we use bean sauce, though, instead of maybe a chili garlic sauce, is I find that it's not as salty.
Okay.
We got green peas, salt, white pepper, sugar, vinegar, the mushroom dark soy sauce, and sesame oil. Now, I brought an egg that we can add in as well, but we don't put egg in the one that we use in the restaurant.
Okay.
But it does taste really nice to add
Okay.
it in afterwards.
Yep.
So what the first step here is we're actually just boiling this here. I was hoping it'd flame up a
would
little
get
bit
going.
more here. Yeah,
It's all right. It's close. You can tell it's getting close.
I hope so.
You know what I make a lot at home ever since we made it on the show is the Shanghai noodle recipe. I think I've told you that. Julienne and carrots. How do you julienne carrots really well? Because I suffer.
Well, we have a Madeline at the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a thing for that.
Machine, yeah, but if you do cut them like at home, just cut more on a diagonal, starting from
Okay.
the top of the carrots,
I find it tedious.
and then fan them out and then go again.
Okay, I need the machine.
Yeah, it's actually great.
Yeah, it is. Okay, good.
So-
and the trick to this really, it's all about the ingredients being prepped. And now that they're all prepped, this is really an easy thing. As you can see, it's just about to start to boil.
Yeah, so as it's boiling here, we're going to just start putting the ingredients just so they have time to cook a little bit here.
Sure.
So we have the barbecue pork. We're just going to add everything in. If you want to stir there.
I sure can.
This is the Chinese turnip. The thing is, the soup has a lot of different textures here, and you're going to find that everything's really crispy as well. And then the carrots. This is
Dried kelp.
Yeah.
This is generally quite a good thing for you, am I right to say? I'm not seeing any ingredients going in here that are going to really hurt you.
No, I think the worst thing is actually the sugar.
Right. Could you do it without sugar if you felt so inclined?
You can. I usually do it because I feel like it brings out like the vinegar a little bit more.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then we got some bean sauce here. Probably about a tablespoon here.
Okay.
Green peas. I know it's funny because sometimes when people hear tofu, they don't really.
They don't respond well?
But they still drink it when it's in the soup.
Oh, they totally do, right? Tofu is a mainstay in these sorts of soups, for sure.
So we're just, if you just want to put it back, just soak it boiled there.
I'm trying to show the camera, but too bad. Okay.
Now we have a little, we're not going to put that much salt in because chicken stock's actually quite flavorful, and it is.
Okay.
So I usually just put a pinch of salt in. If you feel it's not salty, then just add a little bit more, but don't start with too much.
Okay, fair enough.
And then we got a little bit of white pepper.
Now, why white pepper as opposed to black? Is it just a different flavor?
Mm-hmm. You also sneeze more.
With white pepper? Really?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, good to know.
And then about a teaspoon of the sugar. Vinegar. This is with the vinegar, please don't put in too much. Your soup will be so sour. It
will ruin it. So what are you putting in there? It looks like a tablespoon-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always add more, but taking away in a soup isn't happening.
Yeah, I'm just going to prepare the egg here. Now with the egg, just put it in last. The egg will cook even if there's no heat.
Okay. Okay, so it goes in raw and...
Yeah.
You can see it's just coming to a boil here.
Perfect.
Just about.
So this is potato starch. This is what we use to thicken the soup.
Okay.
Now one thing to note, and this is not just with this soup, anything that you thicken, say you're starting with a stir fry, and you think when you taste it, maybe it's not as salty as you would have hoped, but any sauce that you actually thicken will taste saltier once you've done it.
Okay.
So don't let the before taste kind of fool you.
Wait until you've added everything before you make adjustments. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so once this is boiling here, we're going to put in the potato starch. We're going to do a little bit at a time. What happens is if you put it all at once and you don't give it time to thicken, the heat makes it thicker than what it already is. So if you just start a little bit while I add it in here. And you notice how we're just using a little wooden spatula here. It's not important that you use a whisk because the whisk will actually break apart the ingredients that you've used.
Good to know.
And then for color, I always use a little bit dark soy sauce. So as I've said in previous shows, light soy sauce, more flavor. Dark soy sauce, more for the coloring.
Okay.
See how that looks even spicier now, even though soy sauce has nothing to do with spice.
It's so true.
And then we're going to put the sesame oil in.
And that's just a very little bit.
Yeah, don't overbear your recipe with too much sesame oil. It'll the smell will turn you off if you use too much.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay, good to know.
All right. So then we'll put in the egg, we'll stir it in.
And what does the egg do? It's obviously a good blast of protein, but what else?
It tastes good.
It just makes it taste good.
Yeah.
And that is it. Hot and sour, right like that.
Perfect. And I have a bowl there. Are we talented enough to try to pour it in?
I think so. I think you are. So it's boiling up a storm.
Yeah. And then we'll turn it off here.
I'm glad it heated up in time.
Oh, me too. I know, it's always so different cooking here at the restaurant.
Yes.
The gas stove,
it's such a difference, right? I know. That's on our wish list. It smells exactly as it should. It smells delicious. This is what you need if you're sick, but also on a cold day, like right now. It's the perfect type of food for lunch or dinner for the family. You're obviously serving this up a lot right now. Smells delicious. Can't wait to try it. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes, and again, Happy New Year to you. Happy Chinese New Year. If you are interested in going and checking this out, you don't feel like making it, you don't have to. You can go to either location on the South Shore or the North Shore. The information is on the screen. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay with us.